This is the brief on engineering climate policy for Canada's oil and gas sector. So, if you're a student bridging engineering and policy, a new 2026 report from Engineers Beyond Borders Global maps out exactly how to decarbonize Canada's energy sector without gambling on unproven tech. First up, the near term, the next 1 to 3 years. Voluntary measures? They've totally failed, with absolute emissions jumping 11% between 2005 and 2022. A strict declining emissions cap is absolutely crucial. Think of this cap as your non-negotiable structural load limit. To act as the immediate structural reinforcement, engineers can deploy tools like leak detection, upstream electrification, and methane abatement to hit a massive 75% reduction. Second, looking 3 to 8 years out, we hit the engineering risks of carbon capture, utilization, and storage, or CCUS. A cap guarantees results, but CCUS doesn't. Permanent carbon storage at scale is incredibly difficult, requiring highly specific geology, industrial clustering, and high-purity CO2 streams. Seriously, is banking on CCUS as a silver bullet like an engineer designing a bridge based on a material they merely hope gets invented during construction? Finally, let's look at the workforce and global accounting. We need to start skills mapping now to transfer high-productivity competencies like process engineering and geoscience into low-carbon industries like geothermal and hydrogen. Also, 85 to 90% of emissions actually happen at combustion. Exporting those emissions without life cycle tracking severely damages Canada's climate credibility. You really have to ask, are exported emissions just a massive, intentional blind spot in our global carbon accounting ledger? Ultimately, true climate progress requires treating hard engineering realities and human capital as the foundation rather than gambling on theoretical technological miracles.